Congresswoman, you certainly held court today on that floor, the tea included. You've been critical, though, of Musk, frankly, for a very long time, and you even called Doge a scam on the American people. You kind of read the tea leaves, so to speak, that this bromance would end. But what do you make of this breakup?
Well, I mean, I think I said this on the floor today, but breakups are hard, man. And I don't think I've ever seen a harder breakup in my life, to be honest. It's been real. But, you know, I mean, I think that I'm not totally surprised, to be honest. You've got the wealthiest man on planet Earth who helped to buy an election for who's now the most powerful man on Earth. And they're completely melting down on each other and like in total destruction mode right now. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to emerge out of this in the coming days. But what I do know is Elon Musk, and I hope it's okay to say this on the air, is a total bullshit artist. And you don't have to take my word for that. Donald Trump said that a few days ago. And I think that you could see that in the literal receipts from Doge and the way in which he spent the last several months self-dealing, stealing people's data, giving himself government contracts. And, you know, he tried to wipe his hands and walk out of the White House, but it apparently imploded on him the last few hours.
Well, this destruction mode, as you call it, is particularly acute right now when we're watching all the stakes, and they're very high for the American people. And you actually replied to Trump's post where he suggested even terminating Musk's contracts by saying, quote, "We'd love to work with you on a bipartisan bill to do just this." But not all of your colleagues, of course, are taking that kind of stance. In fact, Senator John Fetterman said this earlier. Listen.
The Dems, we've been dumping all over Musk and vandalizing Teslas or whatever, and now suddenly we might be more back into him and thing. It's just like it's like, you know, he's right about the big beautiful bill. It's like, you know, we have to decide, you know, where are we thinking about him.
So what is the strategy? What ought it to be when it comes to Elon Musk? Is it to embrace or antagonize? Is there some middle ground? What?
Well, I mean, first we have to acknowledge that for the last 130 days, that Elon Musk was a special government employee. He broke the law. He stole our data, as I mentioned. He fired thousands of federal employees. He dismantled agencies illegally. And there's now over 200 court cases in the federal court system holding him and the Trump administration accountable. And so I don't think we can sit here and pretend like nothing's gone down for the last 3.5 months. And I think he needs to be held fully accountable for his actions. Now, politically speaking, I think, as some of us were just saying, America needed this. We really, really did. You know, we've lived through such, I think, dark times over the last few months that, you know, it's hard to not take a little bit of joy in watching them destroy each other. But I don't think we should be embracing somebody who's engaged in criminal activity against the American people and shattered lives for the last 3.5 months.
Yeah, speaking of that, I know, it harkens back. You remember when James Carville made that comment about, you know, the Democrats ought to, as a strategy, roll over and play dead and essentially watch the control. I'll tell you what he said after that. He went on to say, allow the Republicans to crumble beneath their own weight and make the American people miss us. I saw you kind of wince at the idea of rolling over and playing dead, but his greater message, it appears, was, you know, sit back and let them implode, and then Democrats can seize on the opportunity, if I'm paraphrasing him. We look at this right now. Is that a sound strategy? Are the Democrats doing that?
Well, I think when you have megalomaniacs like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, it is sort of mutually assured destruction, regardless of whether or not Democrats intervene. But what the American people want is very clear. They want to see leaders fighting for them. They want to see them fighting for a democracy. They want to see us fighting against this disgusting abomination of a bill. They want to see us fighting against taking away their health care and their food assistance and making sure that we're fighting for democracy and basic human rights in this country. So the idea that Democrats should just stand back and let them destroy each other and not intervene and not actually fight for the American people is absurd. Like, this is our fight. This is the fight of our generation.